Let's see.
Says we got 4 people. How's everybody doing tonight? Who we got? We're actually up about 3 minutes early. Oh, there are comments. I just hadn't touched the screen yet. We got Mike Smith, Mark Young, got Happy Quack, Geeky. Whose address were we still needing?
Nobody's. Mike sent his yesterday. And he lives in Coolsville, which I thought was really cool because that's where Scooby Doo comes from.
I got a lot to say, Happy Quack.
Scooby Doo comes from Coolsville.
We're going to let everybody get in here before I say it. But my tolerance for stupid has gone to complete zero. Complete zero.
Mark W. Young. Hi, Mark.
There's the ads. Hey, Clearwater, how you doing? Jeff Sanderson.
From Louisiana.
From Louisiana. That's what we like to see. We like to see everybody get to know each other, and but we don't want your mama's maiden name or the name of your first dog. Or...
How are y'all hearing it? Little Mike's hooked up tonight. Everybody hearing it good?
There's Michael. Mr. Positive. Glad to have you.
Great.
5-minute ad, Geeky. That ain't my doing. I didn't sign up for that. Well, good, Jeff. We're in the middle of an ice storm. It's supposed to be snow, but it's ice. So we'll be up till the power goes out anyway. Well, you know it's going to happen.
No, don't jinx us. I don't want it to be cold.
But it's 27 degrees now. It's supposed to get down to something crazy like 14. And we don't do 14. That's only every 5th year thing around here.
Yeah, we haven't had snow, ice, or anything in at least 4 or 5 years.
Well, Jim, what gets us in trouble here?
I sent Jim, Mike,
and the soap went out this week, so let us know if you get it.
Sorry, guys, I kept walking by it, forgetting it. It had been stuck off to the side.
Well, Jim, Michael, I will tell you what gets you in trouble here is it'll be 70 degrees one day, and then this.
30 degrees that night.
And it's the wide shift in temperature that causes us the most problems. It's not so much the fact that it's cold, is that you ain't used to it. Oh, Geeky, we know it's like 90 degrees there and you're still growing tomatoes. You ain't got to brag about it. Well, you know, Michael, until I got to talking to you, I didn't realize it did that everywhere. I've always heard that we were the only people who had to deal with it. It being 80 today and snowing tomorrow, or, you know, the temperature swings. But apparently it's a problem in more places than just here. And I'm really thinking about moving to Florida, Geeky.
He wants to go down there and be a snake hunter. Nah, that's okay. I'll go stay with you, Geeky.
Are y'all having bad weather up there today, Mark? Or is it bypassing y'all?
What's he tearing up over there? Here's something tearing.
He's chewing up your sock.
He's got where he eats socks lately, guys.
He says 16 today, 51 tomorrow. Clearwater says sounds like Kentucky. Well, that's kind of what we have, Geeky, is 80 one day, and then, you know, 40 or 35 degrees ain't cold unless it was 80 yesterday. Then all of a sudden, 35 is cold. Okay. Yeah, we've got some friends up that way. Talk to on the phone with some, Mark. Thank you, Amber. If we ever get everybody in here, there's a few things I want to talk about. I'm gonna give you a little heads up on it and see what y'all think. We're gonna do some actual videos on this. But every once in a while I mess up and get on Facebook on some of these pig groups or farming groups or homesteader groups or whatever. And of course, I watch YouTube because we're on YouTube. And everybody up here's got a channel. I want you to help me with something. And I want to see what y'all's opinion of something is. The misinformation that's available on social media is mind boggling. And if somebody doesn't have an option except to go to Facebook and ask a question about how to do something, it's shame on their hide now. I mean, they go to Facebook looking an answer they're gonna get. This
Hey,
one
Brett.
bad. Uh, what do we need to do about that? Me and Amber just got through talking about it. Me and Geek, you've talked about it on the phone. A few of us, hey, Brent, we've all talked about it, and we've got a theory about why it's that way. But it hurts a lot of people. It hurts a lot. I talked to a lot of people through emails and phone calls and stuff from all over the country that are trying to do something that can't be done because they saw it on Facebook or were encouraged by somebody on Facebook or caught into the mini animal pyramid scheme that happens so much. And, all these people that can't financially take the hit of trying to do something and it won't work. When what they're trying to do won't work from the word go. I mean, the whole premise is flawed. I don't know what to do to help them. I feel like they need help. And somebody needs to do it. But I'm not really sure how to go about doing it. So give me y'all's thought and input on this stuff, and we'll see what we think we can do about it.
Everybody's just saying, hey, might hit them too early.
Maybe, maybe, but this something's got to be
Too
addressed.
quick.
Well, that ain't all we can talk about. We can talk about something else too. But every time I get on Facebook, I feel like just, yeah, we talked about that. Really thinking that might be a good idea. I think there is something he's doing right off the bat. In fact, I've got a customer of mine that wants a newsletter that wants to get a bunch of people that are actually raising pigs and kind of old way to get together. In fact, I think he's in here. But I don't know what to do about it. Happy Quack, like we talked about it. It's the same. Everybody's telling the same story. Well, I know that, Geeky. I know, Geeky. These people still think the world's flat. Um, I know that, but it's too prevalent. It's too much of what you get. If you ask a question, all you get is misinformation. And if anybody goes up there that actually knows anything, which, like I said, I've never been foolish enough to try. I've never tried to answer anybody's question in a Facebook forum because I know what'll happen. I can see what I'm already jumping on other people. I know better, than even attempt it. But the only thing they get is misinformation. I mean, stuff that will not work. And 20 people that have never done it themselves telling them that it will work. And that's a bad combination. And this tablet's gimping up pretty bad. But that's what I hear a lot, Geeky. I get a lot of comments and a lot of emails from people that have found us and talking about how much we've really helped them, and I'm glad to hear that stuff. And there's a lot of people up here. There's several people up here that have channels that give good information. My way of doing stuff is not the only way of doing it that works. And I try to make that perfectly clear that my way is not the only way it works. But some of this stuff they tell is just backing up. I mean, it's, like I think, Geeky, me and you talked about this one time, the shovel full of fire ants out of one hill. Mad, I don't either. I don't even think that should be an option to a beginner. I don't think a beginner should even go into it with the expectation of buying a bunch of new equipment to be able to do this off the bat. That's just setting yourself up for financial failure immediately. Hey, Piney Woods, we're getting ice right now. Saw your family farm. We're glad to help. Well, see, that's kind of me, Geeky. I don't know if we want to be we don't want to be a big channel. I'm not interested in being a. Yeah, Piney Woods, we spent all day, well, half a day yesterday getting everything ready here, so we wouldn't have any problems tonight. I've got a bunch of weaned pigs and a bunch of newborns here that we want to try to keep warm. So everything's snuggled down in hay right now. And anything real small's got a heat lamp on it. Well, Piney Woods, I think it's going to be warm again. Is it going to be warm again Sunday? We're supposed to heat back up in the 60s sometime soon. That's our problem here, Piney Woods. We won't get a string of cold weather long enough to put any meat up. We can get a cold day to kill a hog on, but we can't get 2 weeks of cold weather to put up any meat. That's a good question, Happy Quack. That's a really good question. The all natural dewormers is always a good topic because, hey, there's back to the basics. We're glad to have you. The natural dewormers is always a good topic because they don't work at all. They're scientifically proven not to work.
No, it's the high 44, but it's low 22.
No, I was hoping it was going to warm back up anyway.
Tuesday
We can't stand this
50.
go. Look, back to the basics. I don't know if he's still in here or not, but I got a little story to tell you about that. He did a video a long time ago. I think they had a flat tire on a cow trailer. They were leaned up beside it, sitting there, and it was 80 degrees. And he was talking about how he was about to burn a slam up at 80 degrees. And I don't know, I just noticed it because it's kind of funny to me because 80 degrees ain't hot. At that time, that day here, it was 106 or something, 110 with the heat index or something like that. And then later on that winter, I thought about it again. It was about 35 degrees here. And I was freezing to death at 35 degrees. And that was probably about the same boat for him. He'd probably laugh at me that I was cold at 35.
Just grilled pork chops.
Grilled pork chops. Yeah, that's right, Matt. That's the other thing. False expectations, unrealistic expectations. Cows don't fit good on small acreage. And it's almost, if you can't go ahead and run some cows, it's really hard to make money off of them. We finally figured out a way to make some money selling beef but I can't run brood cows. I can buy feeder calves, have them slaughtered, and make out okay. But you got to do some really out of the box stuff to be able to make it work, and there's an awful lot of work in it. An awful lot of work. Well, that's right. Um, a lot of you books, a lot of people get information from a book. They read a book to do research. Well, my daddy always had a saying and said, even if you do something by the book, you might need to make sure who wrote the book. Just because you got it out of a book don't mean it's right. Um, a book is really no different than posting something on Facebook. I mean, it's just, there's nobody fact checked the book before they wrote it or published it. So just because it's by the book doesn't mean it's right. I work on stuff for a living, and I can give you 1,000 instances right off the top of my head where the book's wrong. Where if you do it like the book says, it won't work. And, you know, I don't know if I watched him, Matt. Yeah, you ain't made a video lately, have you, Luke? I think he did one a while back, Sawyer. I don't know how long ago it was. But I think I saw one, at least the last few months. But I don't do them like I ought to either. Hey, Kaleidoscope. We got ice here. It's ice here. It ain't snow yet. But that's right. That's some good stuff covered. The unrealistic expectations, the thinking that you're going to start this mess and buy new trucks, new tractors, new equipment. Uh, and something we try to talk to people a whole lot about is breeds. And I get it. I get it. You're new to this stuff, and it's exciting. It's fun. It's kind of like when I was a little kid looking at the fishing lure catalog. It'd be getting about January and the shad fixing to start running, and a shad dart's a shad dart. You need a green and white one. You need a silver spoon. But I would be in that catalog looking at shad darts, looking at spoons. Uh, let the new Winchester catalog come out when I was 12 years old, and I was looking at this rifle I would never had the money to buy, and this shotgun I would never had the money to buy. I mean, I get it. People get the book out and they're looking at seeds and they're reading what each variety is supposed to do, and they're looking chicks, biddies, chicken biddies, and they're reading about this breed and that breed. And I did that one time when I was a young looking at a coonhound puppy. I researched. I knew everything there was to know about plot hounds, blue ticks, and red ticks, and red bones. I memorized it. It's fun, but it's unnecessary, and most of it ain't right. Uh, it's really bad to say, but for the most part, a chicken's a chicken. In a lot of aspects, you know, a collard's a collard. I mean, it's just not. You need the kind that'll grow the best where you're at, not the kind that's got the best looking ad in the book. That's right, I have to quack. And people don't like it when you tell them the truth. If you tell them something that don't fit into the fairy tale, oh, good gracious, you've earned their day, and they don't like you no more. I had somebody send me a picture the other day of old Pawnee Woods Rooter, and he wanted me to tell him it was a particular breed of pig, but it won't. He'd been lied to about what it was, and he wanted confirmation that it was what the guy said it was. And I was like, well, it's Pawnee Woods Rooter. I'm sorry, you got stuck. You know, it is what it is. Well, I like cabbage. We're cabbage collared people here too, Pawnee Woods, but
Did we send him some seeds? We sent out a bunch of them one time.
Pawnee Woods, we sent out a bunch of cabbage collard seeds. Geeky. There's actually a story behind the cabbage collards. old community story that may or may not be true. What we call a folk tale almost. How did you ever get any to grow, Geeky? I know we sent Geeky some. That's right, Matt. That's exactly. It could take you 3 generations to build a farm. Easy 3 generations. And then one to lose it. And three more to build it back. That's where we're at. Uh, one generation, you can take my great grand, well, actually, my great great granddaddy, my granddaddy, uh, my great granddaddy, and my daddy managed to build up everything around here. And then one little hiccup, it lose all. You got to start over. And it takes several generations to build it. Well, Piney
Yeah,
Woods,
that's
a lot
right.
of people here will grow Georgia collards and just put a cabbage in the pot with the collards. It's pretty good, but we're pretty solid cabbage collard people around here. Well, that's what we've got out here now. Geeky, some of them same ones. I planted a little bed, and the deer got in them. Deer didn't mess anything else here last year, but they got him a collard bed.
And then part of them drowned when
Well,
it
what
supposed
deer
to
didn't eat
rain.
drown, that's right. And that's something else, too. Nobody tells you how bad Mother Nature kick your butt. Nobody tells you that you can do everything right and fail miserably. It happens all the time. Being a farmer, and that's what you are if you're a homesteader. Um,
Chocolate crocodiles.
but if you're a homesteader, you're a farmer. If you don't like that terminology, I'm sorry, but it's what you are. You're an agriculturalist. I don't care if it's livestock or gardening or fruit trees or whatever. Horticulture and all that stuff is agriculture. You're a farmer. You might not like the terminology. You might want to differentiate yourself from what you call commercial farmer or something, but you're a farmer. And the screwed up thing about being a farmer is you spend half your life praying for it to rain and the other half praying for it to stop. And, you know, the truth is, I don't know how many times I'm as close to God as I am because of a weed hoe. I don't know how many times I've sit there praying, please, Lord, just let me get this last little bit chopped and you have it. I'd fall down dead in the road. Let me get this last little bit chopped. Or let me get through topping this field in the back before I die. Let me finish this road before I die. Let me get these hogs loaded before I die. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that they were doing good. Those seed are way over 100 years old. Not the ones you got, but that line has been propagated for way over 100 years. But the false information, the stuff people, well, ain't nothing wrong with that kaleidoscope. We do the little cut off barrels, and they do really good. I mean, if you don't have a lot
I'm
of
thinking
rain,
that's get some more of them, and that's all we need.
and I'm gonna have to use it for hog shelters. But I got some heavy corrugated steel. How Geeky's got his planters are made out of. I guess he bought kits. But I've got some of that same steel, about the same height. Somebody gave me the other day, and I was really thinking about doing some strawberry beds out of it because I like to raise beds for some things. Now I understand that I'm not going to grow a crop in them. I'm not going to grow enough to live a year off of, but they do really good for certain things, and you can grow a crop of certain things in it. And but I really need to build hog shelters out of it. That's why we got it, and it should work good. It's really heavy corrugated metal that I don't think I don't think the pigs can tear up too bad. Kaleidoscope, if you put you some, what is it, peat moss in them beds, it'll help them hold lot holding water. Make a big difference holding water. And it don't have to be bought peat moss. I think Spanish moss will do the same thing.
You
Anything
know,
that'll
it'll
soak up
hardly.
water. Newspaper might work. Anything that'll soak up water and hold it. Hey, Dino, glad to have you. But Amber, what else did we forget? I know me and you talked about several things we're gonna try to go over. And I think we're gonna try to do the page or whatever. We've got a Facebook page, but I don't know how. I need somebody that knows how to tend it. That ain't a bad idea, Costco. I've seen people set them on. They sell some little cheap moving dollies at Harbor Freight, little square ones. See people set them on them. But you know, a lot of things are regional.
If you put it on the dolly, you don't have to worry about it leaking.
Do what now?
So if you put it on the little dolly, you don't have to worry about it leaking.
Well, they won't work here because you don't roll around with dirt.
Well, as you're talking about screwing them into the bottom, it would leak around once you screws them in.
No, not necessarily. Well, that's right, Amber. The difference between homestead and hobby farm. The difference between homestead and hobby farm is a big difference. A big difference. And they're different rules. And it's just a totally different game. We've talked about this. I don't remember who said it, but it was the gospel truth. There's a big difference between 3 meals a day, 365 days a year, and 1 meal a week put on Facebook. Big difference. And I've had some people in my videos say, well, you don't need that much food. How can you possibly eat that much food a year? It's because they're eating out 2-3 meals a day, 4 or 5 days a week. Yeah, Piney Woods, I got them things, Geeky. Y'all need to go check out that video of Geeky. I don't know what he had to pay for them. I haven't researched the green thing. But he's got oval, long, just rounded in, corrugated metal beds. They were kits he bought. And Geeky, if you want to jump in here and tell everybody about them, but they look neat, they look clean, they look permanent, they look nice. And if you're in a situation where you've got to put stuff in your front yard, you know, you still want to keep everything looking good, but you could put these in, you could fill your front yard up with these with little gravel walkways in between them and have, it would look better than a lawn if they were tended to air bit. And, you know, like we were talking about, for certain things, they do really, really good, right? There's certain things do excellent in a raised bed, and you can grow a crop in it. You can get all you'll ever need out of a raised bed. Now, other things don't. Yeah, they are. They're nice. Yeah, that's something else. Happy Quack. I think what we've figured out is somebody makes a video, the information can be complete BS, but because it got a bunch of views and a bunch of likes, everybody copies it. And it just me too the information. There ain't no different old coonhound puppy. It ain't got a clue if there's a track here or not. Taking off, running. Me too, me too, me too. When they get to a slick tree, you know, it is what it is. They ain't paying, they don't know what they're talking about. They've never done it. They do a video talking about it. And anybody that really knows that they're full of it the minute they start talking. But they heard somebody else say it, so it must be true. And I don't know if I'll tell this up here, but Amber actually had somebody tell her that she didn't have as much money, or that somebody else that was on YouTube was rich. So they didn't believe her as good as they did him because he was rich. He knew more. And I pointed out to Amber that P.T. Barnum was rich. Just because somebody's rich doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. And what did Caleb say?
I don't know.
Well, good deal, Caleb. I'm glad to hear it. I want to see everybody do good at this. I don't know, Sawyer, why I'm on the coon dog thing so bad. I'm nostalgic. We were talking about big game dogs and hounds all day today. But I've had some English dogs. But I was a polite guy. I mean, I always had polite hounds. Hey, Lisa, training and rigging said Homestead is the real life and Harvey Farms make believe. Well, that's a good way to put it. Because the fairy tale, the Homestead fairy tale, is what I see causing people the most problems. The fairy tale that you're going to quit your job and move out to the country on 3 acres. And you're going to immediately be able to make enough money off your homestead to buy a brand new truck and a brand new tractor and brand new equipment. People don't realize a doggone 4 foot tiller's $3,000. A compact tractor's $20,000. How much is a brand new John Brown 3/4 ton truck? $50,000. The money ain't there unless you, I don't know, the money ain't gonna be there.
Did you say
Terms
hey to
don't bring
Crane
that
and
much.
Riggin?
Yeah, that says it right here. Uh, the money ain't gonna be there. Turnips don't bring that much. Pork don't bring that much. Wicker baskets don't bring that much. You got to remember, I grew up with a family making corn shuck dolls to sell to us. Anything in the world that would make $1. Anything and everything that we could do on this farm that would make $1. Everything. And Star Slam to death. Cash money was the hardest thing to come by. If I needed a box of 22 balls for my rifle, right, I had to get my dad take me to the country store down there. I had to took 2 rabbits. Had to trade 2 rabbits for a box of 22 shells. If the woman at the store didn't like rabbit and wouldn't have traded me, I wouldn't have had them. We didn't have 79 cents for a box of rifle balls. And that was in the old days when you didn't know a cell phone bill and all the stuff you have now, cable bill, and your TV costs $250 a month.
It sounds like, and this is a little bit off of his rant. Um, it sounds like Rice Krispies in here, y'all, because the ice hitting the window. We're in the middle of a Rice Krispie bowl.
That's right, Piney Woods. We're just doing the same thing we've always done, but we ain't trying to tell you a fairy tale. You live and grow yourself something to eat. Um, and you'd have a pretty good life. But you got to understand it's going to be aggravating. It's going to be hard. It's dirty. There ain't no money in it. You better have some other way to pay the bills that's got to be paid. And you might do a little bartering. I do a little bartering, and you know we might do, but they ain't. There ain't no fortune to be made in it.
That's not your thinking.
Oh, thank you, son. I missed a comment somewhere. If I miss a comment, I'm sorry. Just
She
repeat
said
it.
you're the best, my friend.
Well, thank you. Jeff said get 300 for a groundhog. I guess you mean $3. Is that right? Or didn't mean groundhog? I missed something. Hey, there's the preacher. Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I told somebody this the other day. This could be said for several things around here. We ain't got new furniture. We don't have really nice cars. Um, hey, Brian, how are you doing? We ain't got this. We ain't got that. We got some nice hogs. We got some of the best hogs there is. Bloodlines, Farfetch, and Dearborn. Uh, I don't have brand new equipment, but I've got some of the best running old Fergusons around here because I'm a tractor mechanic. Of course, yeah, it'd be bad advertising. Mine not running good. But I got 50-year-old tractor crank every time you push that button. I got a hammer mill out here that'll grind 400 pounds of corn so fast to make head spin because
Hey,
Johnny
Brett.
Sharp thought enough of it to bring it down here.
Oh,
Cause
that's
up at
Preacher. He changed his name.
yeah, that's Preacher.
Hey, Preacher. Sorry.
Because I had a friend good enough to find me one up the western part of the state, won't rusted out because it was in a building and bring it to me. And I spent the money and the time and obsessed over it till I got it fixed, got it working. Um, There's a whole lot of stuff you're gonna have to do by hand because you can't afford to do it the easy way. The homestead and hardway thing here is kind of a play on words. I don't think we do anything the hard way. We just do it about the only way you can really do it, and that means I can't afford to go rent a backhoe. Well, Brian, I hate to say it, it's probably that was the only really trick I knew. You might could talk to the vet. There might be a shot you can give her, but I don't think that works any better than that trailer ride's usually what we do. That don't work, I'll cover. I think there is a shot they can give her to bring her in heat. That's right, Sony. No new truck ever paid for a farm. And you can't do it. We talk about this all the time. You can't do it no more. You used to in my granddaddy's day, and then when my daddy was young, when my daddy was younger, when him and my mom got married in the early 50s, you could buy a farm and farm it and pay for it. You could do that.
Frito potato.
Good to have you, Frito. Well, if you want to give her every chance you can, check on that, Brian. But I don't know about how successful that'll be. I don't want to encourage you unduly, but well, Brian, I'm gonna help you anyway. I'll help you.
Huh? What did she say? You can try giving her zinc. Beyond that, I throw her in down towards the new heat like.
She won't come in heat happy quiet, and he's already tried the trailer ride trick, and I've seen that work. I've seen that work. Well, man, do what now?
Happy Quack said every board in town. The keyboard screwing up.
Oh.
Top. Kramer Family
So
Channel.
what else can I do? I missed a comment. Oh, there we go. Kramer, if you can put a heat lamp out there where she can't get to it, and
Yeah,
she
'cause
can't
she'll
get
break
to it because she'll destroy it and burn the building down. But at that cold here, they gonna probably need a heat lamp. Uh, the straw's not a bad idea. Don't let her dig a hole. If she digs a hole, you have to fill it in and stay with her. I hate to say it, stay with her. Get them clean, get them shut, and get them on a nipple.
And as dry as possible. Don't let them get wet; they'll freeze.
Well, you need to dry them off a little bit. And what I would do is hang on, let me catch up right here. But yeah, you don't need to dry them to get them. They get them dry, get them on a nipple, and then they really need to go under a heat lamp. But if you don't have a heat lamp, you just have to let them snuggle up to the side. That's a good way to lose them, especially if she's a gilt. And say it was a gilt, because she'll roll over on them.
Tyler Whitfield.
Well, Dino, we're sitting here on 6, and this you can't have too much, but
Frito potato. And the Frito bandito.
Tyler, I'm gonna be honest with you. Tamsworth, as a general rule, aren't known for having great big litters, but they should have 10, 12, 8 to 12, possibly 14. The Boar has something to do with that. Uh,
Old mechanic.
we've got a new Boar here now that's throwing small litters. I'm not sure if that's all his fault or exactly what's going on. But they should be somewhere around a 10 to 12 range. If they don't have it 8, don't panic. Sometimes a gilt won't have as many as old sow.
Well, we can't do that, Happy Quack. Our gilts pick on our old sow.
Yeah, ours will fight too bad. That's right, Mark. If you want to learn how to do something, try to find really maybe more than one person there. Okay, how's the best way to put this? I'm a pretty good mechanic. one of the reasons I'm a pretty good mechanic is, I hate to say it like this, but it's the truth. When I was younger, I had a temper, and I would get mad and quit a job right now. I mean, right now. You get me ill, I'd stomp out, I'd load my toolbox up, and I was gone. Because back then, um, a job won't nothing. I mean, if you want another job, you went to the next shop. I might be working on John Deere's this morning, International's at lunchtime. I mean, I would leave and go to a different dealership right now because I had a reputation of being pretty good and they'd hire me. I mean, it was just loading stuff up and go. Well, the more places you work, the more tricks you learn, you know. And I won't that bad. I'd work a couple of years at a spot most of the time. Well, Michael, we're gonna be running 10 sows and oh, probably less than 2 acres. Probably by the time we get through with it. Thank you, Dustin. Because that's one of the beautiful things about hogs.
Minnesota man.
Minnesota man, I hate to miss you. What do you say? And if I get off in left field, don't answer your question, ask me again.
Go back down. Well, I just said hey, basically. Oh. Good to see you.
I tried it kaleidoscope. I ain't had no luck with it. It did not work. I had people say it works, but it didn't work for me.
Well, that guy could try it, Brian, right? If he's really wanting to keep his sow.
Well, you know, we've had some that wouldn't come in back in heat.
Yeah.
I've had some just wouldn't. We've had some that just wouldn't come in heat.
Hey, Rasher Ray. Piney Woods used it.
Well, tell them about it then, Piney Woods. I ain't had no luck with it. Is that Rancho Ray?
Yep, Rancho Ray.
Issues with animal units per acre in your area. I'm not sure I understand the question, Minnesota.
I guess how many animals you can have per acre. You hear the snap, crackle, pop? Please don't let the lights out. Please.
We have some laws about it, Minnesota, man. We have waste management laws. But we're, like here, we're a registered farm. We're actual, you know, recorded state farm with license and registration numbers and tags with numbers on them and everything else. But we have a lot of trouble in Minnesota with people trying to run too many cows to acre having trouble with it. I mean, a lot of trouble with it, you know.
Okay.
Can I keep track of the comments?
Let's see, where did you stop at? You heard Frito Potato said, I heard once if you don't get them old, if you're stupid, unless
you don't get old if you're stupid, I think is what it is.
Yeah, that's true. Old if you're stupid. And then Sandra says, keep feeding them hogs. We love them to eat and sell. Michael Chaffett. Yeah, I'm working on farrowing house and fatting pens of ground on wood floor.
Well, yeah, happy quiet to tell them while I'm walking off this hurt hip. Yeah, happy quiet to tell them what I learned about asphalt pigs yesterday.
Oh,
I didn't know it.
Chris learned.
I did not know that.
Well, I can tell him.
I mean, once they told me it was common sense, but I had never thought about it. It never been an issue.
Chris has a buddy that used to do asphalt, and he called him about doing some asphalt underneath the shoulders because
I wanted concrete.
On the concrete, excuse me.
I wanted concrete.
He wanted concrete.
He could do asphalt for basically nothing.
Well, he said he could do asphalt really cheap, $14 per ton. Didn't you say?
Yeah, well, anyway, he was gonna come do it. Buddy deal. He was gonna come do it.
And he talked to a couple other people, and they told him, listen, asphalt is deadly to hogs. You can't let them lick it or eat it. Lick it, they're going to become deathly ill, and they might die. All it takes is a lick. But if they eat it, definitely. And this is crushed asphalt he was going to put in there to pack it down. So it would be little pebbles anyway, and of course they would eat it. They eat anything you put in there. and it's toxic.
And I had never thought about it. I mean, it's never been an issue. It's never been something to come up. But we've lost pigs. We've sold pigs. People had trouble that put them around asphalt. Because
Yeah.
creosote and asphalt is the same thing.
So creosote, if you got anything soaked in creosote, and they eat that or chew on it, gnaw on it, because we've had pigs that try to eat the wood, and I mean, you can go out and look at some of our recycled material out there, and you can see the bite marks on them. That killed them. So I'm not saying that creosote. I'm just saying that pigs will eat wood, and if you've got wood with creosote in it, that can kill them. It is toxic. So don't use asphalt, creosote, or any of the two. They would be bad. Let's see here. I don't know anything about tractors. Y'all gonna have to give them a minute to come back. Okay, let's see here. Piney Woods. All right, Piney Woods is talking about the boar spray, I guess. Um, we
Well,
made
let
our,
them talk. I ain't had no luck with it. We didn't have no luck with a commercial farm. We always had to
it
walk the
says
board.
we made our guilt stand hard, and we AI 3 doses with success the first time. Got to get her during the stand heat. Minnesota mans, you have 10 animal units per farm site. After that, it's considered a feedlot.
We have that here, but it's way more than 10 animals. Like me on my hog permit, I can have 1,000.
Mark Young said, I got a 58-year-old farmer, 140, same age as me. I wouldn't trade it for any utility tractor built today.
No, of course not. You take that 140, and it might be a little slow, and it might run 4 foot equipment and be one row. But you can do anything in the world with it. With that front lift and the back lift, you can fabricate, you can make specialty stuff for it. We've done everything from scraped aisleways in the dairy to plant tobacco with them. I mean, they'll do anything. Now, not do it fast, and it might turn over on you if you ain't careful. But you can do anything in the world with it. You just got to have some common sense.
Happy Quack said there's zoning here, but if your property is big enough, you can get a certain amount allowed per acre, but they don't care what size pen they're in. 1 acre farm can't have, but the amount of animals a 10 acre can.
Who said that?
Happy Quack.
Well, they got to deal with it pen size restrictions and all that mess they got in California.
Caleb Prater says, I know this could be drawn out answer, but if you were to ferment your feed, what grains would you go for on cracked corn, soybean meal, and minerals? Now just trying to figure out alternatives.
I would if I had soybean meal with mineral mix, I'd make feed and I wouldn't ferment. Um, Fermented feed, I know you see a lot of stuff on YouTube preaching it, but it don't do, it's not worth the aggravation. Is that the best way to put it? It's not worth the extra trouble. Now, if you want to ferment a little bit of ground corn or ferment a little bit of whole corn and give it to them a few times a week, that'd be a probiotic and aid digestion, it works great. Just don't get them drunk. And if you put something sweet like molasses or sugar in it, it makes alcoholic mash, which is basically moonshine mash, is what it is.
And then you get your pigs drunk.
And if you give them too much of the beer, which the juice is beer, if you give them too much of it, you'll have them staggering and looking at the sky and acting all foolish.
I did that by accident. I didn't know what I was doing.
And if you use molasses and your cows get to it, they'll drink the whole barrel full and they'll be staggering drunk.
All right. Kaleidoscope said, think Piney Brain was looking to bring a sow in heat. Let's see.
Yeah, well, they're trying to bring a sow into heat, but you remember Paul bought them 2 full-blooded do-rock gilts, paid all that money for them. Neither one of them ever came in heat. We tried every trick. They've come up around here since the beginning of time. You know, if the boar's aggressive enough, he'll bring her in heat. That didn't work. You know, riding them on the trailer didn't work. He called the vet, and there was some shot he could give them. I think they gave him 1 shot, didn't bring that one in heat, so it didn't mess with the rest of them. You know.
Piney
That's
Wood
just something
said
you run
he can
into
try
sometimes.
it. It will piss her off, and it may work. And then see, Rancher Ray, hey Chris, based on your experience, what pig breed is the one that produces the richest, darkest red meat? coloration?
Darkest red meat.
Hmm.
That's probably them wrinkled up pigs. The ones everybody says taste like beef.
Cancun?
No, Michon maybe.
Michon. Yeah, that Michon.
Is it Michon? It's
Yeah,
got the
they said
darkest red meat.
those are the most like beef.
Yeah,
Michon.
but I don't like it. Somebody brought some up here to show me and give me some one time, and I wasn't super impressed with it.
Sandra says we farm pig, fat cattle, sheep, goats, I suppose we goats, and chickens with grain and hay. And Michael said the wood flooring is all rough cut logs for my meal.
That'll work. That'll work fine. But
Didn't you say you were worried about?
well, let me tell you. Let me tell you this, man. Let me tell you this. The wood floor work is traditional. People done it for a long time. It'll work. You need to email me and let me tell you what you can do to it to make it last 10 times longer because I can't tell you on a live on YouTube. The EPA will get.
Happy Quack still having problems on the keyboard.
But the reason we don't do any more concrete and wood floors than we do here is because pigs are tear wood floor to pieces. They'll destroy it. It'll work, but you got to fix it some. You're gonna be careful how you build it. You're gonna have to fix it. They can't get to the edge. You're gonna have to put the board. You'll see how to do it. I've talked to you enough to know you're certainly intelligent enough to build it where it'll work. But you're gonna have to be careful when you build it because they'll rip it up. If they get any bite on it, they'll pull it up. But the reason I don't do any more of it than I do is because it raises rats. Concrete slabs and wood floors, if you ever get a rat problem, you're going to have a rat problem because they get under it.
They tunnel.
Around here where they can't get under nothing, ain't nothing here for them to get under. So
they get under our chicken bowl. We have
those are mice. That's different from a mouse and rat.
Well, I mean, it's still
mice are
basic,
easy to get rid
same
of.
scientific.
I can put some bait. My bait stations and mice are gone. But you ever get wharf rats or black rats or Norway rats, whatever them things are, you won't never eat. They're hard to get rid of.
Happy Quack said, Rancho Ray, the darkest colored meats are the Michon pigs and red wattles, but honestly, it depends on how you feed or top out your pigs.
Well, that's true too. That's true too. You can get a red or darker meat feeding peanuts or tree nuts.
J-Man
that does make it a darker meat.
Said,
but most people don't like that. You need to try it, see if you like it. Because if you grew up on grocery store pork, you ain't gonna like that dark pork.
Wow, great to see the channel's growing. 32 in chat tonight. That's awesome. What a great way to start 2022. Grossmania.
I'm behind on
Gossmania. Hey y'all. So say hey.
Who that Grossmania?
Me too, Geeky. Would have made a good video.
What's that now?
Geeky said he really wished I had recorded the drunk pigs. They were drunk. They were real drunk. I mean, just like, I'm surprised I didn't die of alcohol poisoning because I didn't know what I was doing. He told me to give them some. I gave them some. I gave them a lot more than they should have had.
Yeah, they can skip a cycle, but Piney Woods, I think this one skipped a bunch of cycles. I think, we've run into that before where they just won't come in heat.
Mark, back when I was raising tobacco, 4 farmers.
Well, you know exactly what I'm talking about, Piney Woods. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It works. It works great, and I got plenty of it. And it's 2 parts, but I'm scared to. Old Luke from Back to Basics in here a while ago. He paints everything with the fence posts, truck beds.
Oh yeah.
He'll show you how to do it.
Magnolista. What is the Magnolista for?
I get Michon. Let me tell y'all the truth about something. I get Magnolistas and Michons mixed up a whole lot.
All right. Minnesota Man says, we will find out. I have Michon's bred to an old spot. Geeky put her email up.
Yeah, that's right, Rancho. They can yes, I have, Matt. Yes, I have. we've lost pigs because of that, because they
Hey,
wouldn't have any
Darla.
colostrum until after the pigs were too old. They were too old to absorb it. You know, they only got about 24 hours where they can absorb colostrum. And you know, in the old days when we had 100 sows, you just moved pigs to a different sow. But nowadays we don't have two sows faring at the same time ever on purpose. You know, we try to make sure we don't have two at the same time, and
Caleb
you
said
kind of
thanks
stuck.
again, mate. Go for the probiotics aspect with some whole corn, then um, love from Bluegrass State.
Uh,
Kenny Surratt, good evening, everybody.
Good
Patcher
evening, Kenny.
Heaven's in here. Hello.
Hey, Pat, you having?
Um, Happy Quack, Minnesota man. I love old spots, and I love. Keeps me around. Oh, I love Michon. That sounds like an amazing cross.
Well, Happy Quack, I know what they are. I just get them mixed up. I mean, I know a Michon's this and a Magnolista's that, but I get the name mixed up. Just get it backwards. So when I say Michon, I might mean Magnolista. And when I say Magnolista, I might mean Michon. I know one of them is the wrinkled up pig, and one of them is the furry curly haired pig.
Rancher Ray said that it left two pigs inside their livestock trailer because they were
Tore the
taking
floor out.
and
Crane and
destroying the
rigging,
floor.
we've got, I don't know if you ever seen the videos, but we have a herd of about 45 deer here. We got right here. We got about
you go
45.
outside, it's dark, and look across the back.
Yeah, it calls the
field,
M names.
and they're everywhere.
And because they're new, because I haven't been talking about them my whole life. I get coons and pot bellies and some of them other ones mixed up too. When I say, I may say pot belly when I mean coon. We got Darla LaSalle. But you know, Crane and Riggin, you got a good point there. A lot of people overlook that. That like deer meat. Deer meat can be can be a big asset.
Piney Woods apparently got a deer.
Well,
He said we had 45 deer. Now we have 44.
Well, our problem here is the neighbor don't like it. Well, I think he's hunting over there somehow. But he really don't want anybody hunting over there.
He said it's crossed through, over that way somewhere.
Do what?
He said it's over by that way somewhere on the other side of, what's that guy's name in the White House?
What are you talking about?
Well, you said their neighbor's hunting over there. He's hunting across the road somewhere.
No, I'm talking about the guy we see walking across.
Oh,
the road.
yeah.
I guess it's the guy that owns the place now.
Yep.
But
we see a little orange hat.
Well, you can always tell when he's out there hunting, the deer won't be there.
Yeah.
If he ain't there, the deer there. If he's there, the deer. He walks out. I really ought to go there and talk to him because he walks out way too late. He
And
tries to get in his
that,
hand.
if we can see him up here, the deer can see him from a mile away.
I've learned through the years not to offer unasked for advice, so I ain't gonna go try to tell him nothing.
Dustin just got his NC Farm ID
Well, good.
tags. Cody B.
She should have come in heat and stood that. Well, if you put her in 5 days later, you might have missed it, to be honest with you. Rancho, there's a bunch of different things that can cause that. A bunch of different things that can cause it.
They can eat something, make them sick. Or
if you'll email me, we'll try to go over everything. There's 10 things right off the top of my head that can cause it. I will tell you what, most of the time is if you get just a little bit of alpha toxin in some corn, it'll happen right then. A little bit of something toxic in some feed. Sometimes the boar will get rough with her, try to get her in heat. Another sow will get to fighting with her. Cody, she should have come in heat 3, 4 days, 2 to 5, 6 days, somewhere in there. It's never a dead certain thing, but she should have come in heat when you wean them pigs. That's usually the most reliable time to breed her. That's right, Happy Quack. Feed her good, Cody, and hope she comes in 3 weeks. Well, we run into that, Cody. Sometimes they don't breathe up at night. Matt, most time my boars are kind of used. They're too big. Too big's usually what gets them. They're too big by the time they're 3. I can keep them on as strict a diet as I can. In about 3.5, they're too big. And most of the time, I can get about, I don't know, 5 years out in the south. But we've got a Duroc sow out here just going on 10. She's at least 9 and probably getting closer to 10. Brian, we buy a mineral mix. It's supposed to be a hog mineral and vitamin mix. Got lysine and all that stuff in it. And a lot of times what I buy has the soybean meal. If that's what we're using for that batch of feed, soybean meal, we buy some. It's got soybean meal in it too. You just mix it at 4-to-1 and 5-to-1 with your ground corn, wheat, rye, etc. and make whatever level of protein feed you want. Yeah, happy quack. We have them staying every 2 or 3 heat cycles too, but that ain't how it's supposed to work. They're supposed to get
She want
bred.
flowers.
Our
Candy.
sows just lucky if you don't need stitches. Most of our boars will lay them open around the shoulders of this. And y'all got to bear with me because I can't.
Cody said I'm thinking of switching to AI instead of messing with boars. Had a lot of trouble with boars.
Well, it's the most reliable way we found to do it. Though, what's so bad about it? We could never get a reliable result on the ground with AI.
What do y'all do with the boars when you're done with them?
Give them away. Try to give them to somebody. If not, I just cut them and bury them. They don't have any value.
Most of them we've given away. And they do a lot of trading. A lot of I'll borrow your boar, you borrow my boar, and we'll switch them out. That way that you don't have so many.
So you can keep gilts and breed them back, But that only works while they're young,
Mm-hmm.
But keeping them on a diet makes a big difference. If you keep them on a diet where they don't get too big too fast, And then all you have to do is loan him out and let somebody overfeed him for 3 months.
Oh yeah, they come back really fat. That's not cool. Because then you really do have to put them on a diet and they get really ill and hard to deal with.
A boar is the most aggravating part of breeding hogs, having to keep a boar. And it depends on the boar. Some boars ain't that bad, some of them worry you to death.
Happy Quack says some breeds are hornier than others. Julianne females will get pregnant looking at a picture.
Well, now, that is...
Tootie sow or old
Okay.
spot sow need to be wined and dined by the boar for a while. Coon sow.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's cover that right quick. Some boars just aren't aggressive enough. That's what's wrong with my boar I've got now. He's not gregarious enough. He just don't want it bad enough. He has one sow to breed at the time. If it was like the old days, we throw him out there and 15 of them were his, he would never get none. But how aggressive that boy is and how bad he wants it, he's supposed to just take it. He's supposed to worry her till she gives it up, But the one we got now won't do it. That old spot boy I had, he breed him through the fence if he had to. He was going to get to her if she was in heat. This boy here, he don't care.
Matt said that he took one to the sale barn years ago. He brought $10, which that's why we give away. It's not worth the gas to take them to a sale.
Tell me to bring 25 here.
Yeah.
25. And the last one anybody took to the sale barn, they called him the next day, told him to come back and get him.
Yeah, we wouldn't even run him. We have some people around here that
try to eat them.
Yeah, they try to eat them. They say they make sausage out of them, but that's okay.
They also throw a lot of it away.
Happy Quack said that coon boars are too polite, and so are old spot boars. Michon boars are polite with sows too. Pine Woods has got to roll out, y'all. Pick up our youngins from work. See you next time. God bless.
Good night,
Good
y'all.
night, Pine Woods. Matt Brown says my Berkshire breeds them like a frat boy on spring break.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's what you
Happy
want.
Quack said that our cell barn here told us not to even load up the small lard breeds.
Yeah, I believe that. Well, I'm gonna tell you something else too, and I'm about to be kind of real blunt with y'all, so from a warning.
You might need to be on camera to do this.
Okay, let me tell you this. This the way I look at it. We have a lot of people talk about cutting old big boar and trying to make sausage out of him. And back in the old days, that's what my daddy would have done. We did it a lot. It's not worth the effort. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's not worth the effort. And it's too dangerous. It's borderline inhumane. You can't get the vet to come out and sedate them or anything to do it. So I don't even mess. Don't even entertain that notion. We have some people tell us if you let them calm down good, they can eat them, and we give them away to people to eat. And then when you talk to them later, they couldn't eat them. They went through the trouble to kill him and butcher him, and they couldn't eat him. So a lot of times, what I do is I'll go out there and throw him a couple of honey buns, and he's sitting there eating honey buns, just as happy as anything in the world. And I pop him in the forehead with a 410 salute, and he never knew what happened. He don't even wiggle. And we'll pick him up with a backhoe and go bury him. Oh, that like we said, it don't bring nothing at the sale.
Anything else we got lately?
Gasmania just got their second cow.
Is there anything else we need to thank people for? Let's thank people for them.
Well, Happy Quiet, we've talked about it before. Uh, some people don't notice boar taint. Now that I've been on YouTube and listened to people talk, there's some people boar taint does not bother. Not even a little
They
bit.
hunt a lot. They get those wild boars.
Like a wild pig. The wild pigs here taste like river bottom mud. Nobody can eat them. And we've had buddies come in from like, oh, we eat them all the time. We're gonna cook this pig. We're gonna show you how to do it. And you can't eat them. You tell them, man, you can't. I don't care how much pepper you put on that thing. You can't eat them. It's gonna taste like mud. Oh, you just don't know how to do it. Well, okay, show me. I'm telling you, you about to waste some. You about to waste some protein. Hey, Warren. But it don't bother some people, and if you're one of those people it don't bother, then I'm glad. But I'm not. I can't do nothing with them. But the way I was looking at it, I'm not an animal rights activist, and but I feel like if I got a boar that's been a good boar, he's never been aggressive, he's never hurt anything, he's never done this, he's never done that. I don't feel like I'm doing him a favor loading him up and taking him to the sale and selling him because they're just gonna kill him and make footballs out of him and dog food. What he brings won't cover the fuel or the half a day missed work to take him down there. So that's what we do. Oh, Cody, I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, Matt, a bull don't bother me either. I can't tell a bull. I can't tell a bull was a bull unless he was an old bull or run mad. We killed one time was run mad and he had a pretty bad. He tasted about like a buck deer that had been run with dogs, and we killed a couple of 2-year old. Thought they were steers. Somebody got banded wrong at my neighbor's place, and found out they were actually a bull. All they got was the sack. They didn't get the stuff that were tough. Meat was kind of tough. I was just about to come up. We ain't made you mad, did we, Costco? But Cody, the problem we ran with AI was the only way I've ever done it is in a crate, walking a boar in front of them. And we used to AI hundreds. And I'm supposed to know how to do it. We had a commercial hog farm and I AI'd every gilt sow I had. but we had a crate and you had to walk a boar in front of them. And they always stood. I turn around, sit on the back, they'd always catch. But what we ran into when we tried to do it out here on the ground was I couldn't get them to stand. I couldn't get them to do right. The semen was uh, very expensive. And then I couldn't get the semen I wanted. I had to get what we could get. Of course, I haven't tried it in several years, so that situation may not be the same. The other problem I ran into was to even get the semen, they wanted me to buy a thermos that had dry ice in it to ship it, and that thing was like $2,000. Uh, yeah, uh, Happy Quack's got we I don't know scientifically how that works, but we do see it. We do see that a lot of these commercial breeds, especially commercial stock, they've got where they won't breed on their own. That's part of like the gilt's not coming in heat and the boar's not being good enough. I think that's a lot of what's wrong with my new boar. Is oh okay, well I didn't want to make you mad, Clodscope. We were fixing to thank you for the stuff you sent us and everything else. It's a thing, Happy Quack and everybody. It's a thing that the new breeding, new bloodlines, the modern commercial bloodlines don't do good breeding on their own. But I don't. It's a thing. I know it's a thing. I see it constantly.
What happened?
We're talking about the fact that like the new hog house lines, pigs they can't, the boars can't breed.
No.
Their legs are too short. They're not vigorous enough or gas enough. That's part of your problem.
I was talking about, you said that you made somebody mad. What would,
Oh, I thought I'd make your eyes get mad, but she wasn't mad at us. She was mad at the computer.
oh.
And I'm right here, people. I just got to stand up.
Well, has she left yet? Because I wanted to.
I think she did.
Oh. There's your little keychains.
Well, I thought that was 99, so I've already thanked her on the phone.
Okay. Well, and we also have got. Who sent this?
Her.
She sent this too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was so cute. It's paperweight, but it's an anvil.
Did you tell, since everybody's in here, did you tell them we sent their soap out?
I sent the soap out was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? I had set them off to the side and I kept walking behind and forgetting to send them out.
Good night, Clyde Scrape, if you still ain't already gone.
Hey, Warren. Chris had to go get him a snack.
It was the last one, too.
Oh,
Where it snowed in, it was the last one.
and I was going to steal some of it.
You better steal it fast.
Give me a pinch of it. That's an awful. Look at that.
That's a pinch.
That's my pinch. Be stingy. Give me a bigger pinch. Never mind. I know what I'm gonna do. You eat your cookie. I'm gonna get some cereal. Sorry, it's snowing. You know you gotta eat something, some junk food or something when it's snowing. Or icing. It's icing. Let's be honest. It's icing.
No, it ain't so with the. It's genetics. It's a lot of it's what Happy Quack was just describing. They've been AI'd so long in these commercial buildings that they don't do right. Because I've had several boars, they never had any soy. Because depending on who raised them for, we don't feed soy. $2,000 to $3,000 or 2,000 to 3,000 pigs. Well, you figure in a commercial house, you you kind of guaranteed how they put it. You get 4.5 liters of pigs out of the sow in 2 years.
4?
Yeah, Cody, we run into some of the same. That's not unusual. And we joke around here that full-blooded stuff's the worst. I'd take one of my four-way crossbows and he'll breed the world. Take a full-blooded one, can't hardly get nothing bred. Hey, Clay Borkin from the northwestern part of the state. Well, I think we kind of figured out the way we're doing it. If you raise them on the ground, 10 sows about guarantee you 200 pigs a year. So you just have to scale that up. I guess you have to run 100 sows. And if you have oh, we thought you were gone, Kaleidoscope. I'm glad you're still here, so we tell you good night. So you probably need, what, 200 sows? My math right on that? Because it'd be, that'd be a lot. Because I will tell you that 10 or 20 is bumping a full-time job. As far as all the upkeep and everything. I plan on running 10. Man, I want you send you some pictures of that. I want to see what they are. You gonna keep any top them out? I don't know how they top out. But I will tell you this, Cody. I don't know where you at, but we got some four-way crossbowers that'll perform. I want you to let me know how to do, Matt. I'm really curious to know how to do. And I don't take this wrong, but I'm not a big fan of either one of those. I'm not a big fan of mule fuss or Berkshires. But I want to see how they'll do. Because I'm really curious about the Berkshires to see if it's just the ones we have here that have these problems, or if it's all of them. Because there's a bunch of them around here that nobody's happy with from several different bloodlines. And that 200 to 300 sow number, that's a good cross, Cody. But we've got some spotted boars. They're a four-way cross. But we have some spotted boars that are red with black spots that throw spotted pigs that are reasonably high percentage do-rot. They just got the spotted gene. Well, ours are supposed to be naturally bred bloodlines. Well, you don't know till you try, Matt. I do some experimental stuff too. I understand. That's how you find out what works. And just crossing one old sow. So we got a show pig sow here that I'm gonna try to raise some show pigs off of. I don't, it is what it is. We'll talk about that later. But, I'm not a big fan of the show pig look. I don't like the short legs and the wide back, and I think we might have a market for 1 litter of show pigs a year. But the bad thing about that is just because you raise them don't mean they're going to be show quality. you know, because you have a litter of pigs, every one of them in there is not going to be outstanding. Hey, there's Robin. It's Tiny Homestead. Hey, Robin. You know, that's we sell primarily what we sell is breeding stock. The cubs are what go for meat pigs. Of course, we have some really, really good meat pigs because we're breeding for really, really good breeding stock pigs. And our cub a pig is for anything. Ear not laying right, he'll go in the meat pig pen. If he's got an ear laying wrong, if his coat ain't right, I cull heavy because I sell them for meat pigs. There's always somebody needing an $80 meat pig, and I can get rid of them. Well, they don't look right. And me and you talk about that a lot. The show pigs don't look like pigs; they look like something else. They're different. They're not the same. You know, and they don't look like a commercial hog either. A lot of people say, "Well, show pigs are commercial pigs." No, they're not. They don't look like commercial pigs. They look like show pigs. They're a totally different entity. They don't look like the pigs that's in the hog house to be meat. They don't look like the pigs we grow out here on the ground to be meat. They're different.
They look like Rottweilers and big ones.
Well, they look like bodybuilders,
Yeah.
and they're short-legged, and something else too. Hey, believe on the cross. That short-legged is part of the reason. Is one of the reasons why they're having trouble getting breathing. A short-legged boar can have a lot of trouble keeping something covered. Gross mania, I don't have a super lot of experience with them. Some of my friends have raised some, and nobody was really impressed with them. But I try to be careful before I really badmouth a breed that I don't have that much experience with. Well, I've been trying to do that, Happy Quack. I've been trying to do that. Well, Southwest Iron, there's a lot of people in here that know a whole lot about pigs. We can probably get you steered in the right direction. If we can get you to unlearn what you've already learned. But Gross made to answer your question, we didn't like them. We didn't like the meat. We didn't like anything about them. We didn't like the growth rate. But that was our experience with them, and I hate to paint them all with the same brush. It's like the Berkshires. We couldn't get them to grow here. Half quite. That was a little joke Southwest about what we were talking about a while ago. We were before you got here. We were talking about some of the YouTube educations people had. Won't picking on you or anything. Yeah, well, they grew slow here, but we had trouble. Berkshires growing slow. The only thing we can get to grow here is a Hamp, a Cheshire White, and Duroc. We can get them to set records. And I can get some of like those Carolina Gold pigs. I've had some of them grow so fast, they were like corn. You could hear them growing. Um, anybody that's raised cows, pigs, goats, anything, you'll understand what I'm saying. It's really hard if you see something every day to see it grow. And that's what you need to shoot for, Cody. That's right dead on the money. 250, 300 in 6 months, and I'm assuming that's on a feeder. That's that's hitting your growth rate just about dead on. Because we usually kill ours about two. At the biggest I like to get one is 250, unless somebody specially asks for a bigger one. And we can kill. We have killed some of ours at 5 months. But what I was trying to say was, if you've ever raised anything, even a chicken, well, I know chickens and ducks and rabbits grow fast enough you can see them growing. But it's hard to tell how fast your stuff is growing because you see it every day, and you just swear it ain't getting no bigger. But we have some grow sometimes so fast I can tell they're growing. If that makes sense. You can walk, you can feed them today and walk in there and feed them tomorrow. Good dog on that pig's putting on some weight. We've got 6 feeders out here in a pen that we're waiting on some guy to come get. And I could do a really good video on them on seeing pigs grow. They are a good cross. They're a 4-way cross. Well, it might be a 5-way. No, they're a 4-way cross. They're one of my 3-way cross gilts bred to a full-blooded boar. Cody, I don't do it. There's a lot of people do it. When it works, they call it line breeding. When it don't work, they call it inbreeding. If you're gonna build a breed, you've got to do it to some extent. Sugar's 100% protein. I don't know, but it'll put weight on one. Yeah, I don't like inbreeding. If you do it, you got to cull heavy. And what a lot of people don't tell you, when you start inbreeding pigs, line breeding, let's say line breeding because it sounds better. When you start line breeding pigs, the first symptom you get is aggression. Aggression and crazy. Uh, well, I don't think it's a big issue when you're going to eat, Amber. They ain't going to live long enough to get it, but you know,
You used to feed them ice cream.
Yeah, we used to feed them ice cream, lots and lots and lots of ice cream. Not the sows. You know, we're really careful what we feed sows, but the meat pigs, we used to feed them ice cream.
That's got plenty of sugar.
I mean, it showed up in a truck, melted ice cream. You pumped it into the hog house. When you say breed half a dozen, you mean like a half dozen sows, or to breed a litter of pigs? Southwest, our whole hog operation, we're set up to run 6 sows. Right now, we're set up to run 6 sows, and it's less than probably. But if you take the walkways and everything into consideration, it's a little over half acre. But as far as actual pig pen, it's less than half acre, broke up into about 10, 12 pens.
Well, they retain a lot of their fat. That could be what?
Yeah, 6 sows. We're running 6 sows in less than half acre. But I really need one more pen. You always need one more. I don't care how many hog pens you got. You need one more.
His plan is 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna build 2 more. When I get them 2 built, I need one more. I mean, that's just how that works. I mean, to do the small.
Not taking out the front yard. Nope.
To do the small pens, you got to. You can't have pigs in them all the time. And your sow pens need to be a little bit. If you go look at some of our videos, the sow pen is pretty good size. So we figured out three sows to a half a row of hog wire, for lack of a better way of putting it. I think one pen's 20 by 65, and one's a 30 by 50 or something. They're both.
We've showed them in a lot of videos. I don't know if we've done one just on the pens. I know we've showed the setup.
But 3 sows to a half row of hog wire with which a row of wire 330 feet. With I think one of our shelters is 6 by 12. I don't know what the other one is, but they fit good. There's enough room if you want to put the boar in there with them to breed them. But then you're gonna need a farrowing house, 2 farrowing houses if you're gonna run 6 sows, and you've got to get them bred right. They got to be bred on time, so this pens are empty, and that's what'll gimp you up when the old boar don't get them bred, and you can't end up with 4 of them bred gonna have pigs at the same time. And remember, it's going to take you 2 months to wean the pigs. It's going to take you 6 to 8 weeks to wean them. So you got to. We're doing it with the bare minimum, but we got to be careful what we do. And we're going to step up to running 10 sows, which means I got to build 2 or 3 more pens and another farrowing house. But 6 sows is a litter of pigs every month. And a litter of pigs a month for sale is plenty. That's all you want to mess with. I'll go ahead and tell you that. You know, and that's a month in a job. It'll be a litter a month. That's right, be a litter pick. 6 hours. Sows gonna have 2 litters a year. So if you got 6 hours, you're gonna have 12 litters a year, which you can, if you space that out right, be a litter every month.
Mm, mm. Mm.
I don't even know,
Depends.
man. Not now.
Depends
We're
on where you're at, how much it is, and whether or not you make it or you buy
okay. Well, Matt, this is the best way to know to answer this question. The supplement and mix I use is $50 for 3 bags. A bag of mix will make
it.
500 pound or 600 pound of feed, depending on what I'm making, topping or pig and sow. And
I thought it would make 200. It was 2 bags that made 500 pounds.
well, it makes 10 50 pound bags, or is it 5 50 pound bags? It makes five. No, it makes 10 50 pound bags. That's right. It makes 500 pound feed.
Because you changed the mix. That's right.
Well, no, topping feed makes one thing, pig and sow. Depending on the protein. You know, we add
Mm-hmm.
more mix to add protein for the pig and sow feed and the topping feed, finishing feed, fattening feed, whatever you want to call it. For 6 hours, one boar should cover him. Should.
Oh, good. Geeky is on it. He put the link to the
Well,
pin.
Geeky's always on.
Yes. Yeah, we can't ask for no better than Geeky. We love Geeky.
But you definitely want to keep 2 boars. 2 boars is aggravating. But anyway, it takes me 4 bags of supplement a week, which is $67 is what it costs me a week in supplement. Now
Southwest Iron,
that ain't counting 10, 12 bushels of corn. It's $7 a
you
bushel.
can get people to pay you to come and hunt for them. They'll pay you.
Well, your feral pigs might taste good. Ours don't. Ours ain't edible.
Happy Quack said that she could never feed her pigs in California for what we feed our pigs in North
No,
Carolina.
I know she can't.
And not only that, but I mean, Chris'
What
hammer
about the
meal.
time I put in?
I mean,
Dude, I got $500 in the meal. Plus, I got to have a tractor to run it. Plus, I got to have the time. I got to pay our. I got to pay my help to help me make the feed. We spend 3 hours a week making feed. Mixing it, just mixing.
he said he's gonna start trapping them. He's got hog buyers that want to buy them.
Yeah, they sell them in Europe. They sure do. And if I was him, I'd jump all over that. If we had a better population here, I'd do it here. We don't have enough of them.
Probably better off.
Well, I'm
Because they
gonna
would
move to
destroy
Florida. Tell Geeky we're gonna stay with him for a few days.
I'm gonna stay with you longer because he's gonna go start. He wants to. His new game plan is to move to Florida and start
Hunting anacondas and iguanas and
snakes.
anything they'll pay me to kill. Well, I'm a good hunter.
No.
Ask them how much they pay you a piece for them.
Geeky, do you know how much they pay a piece? No. Not gonna hunt the snakes.
Well, you ain't hold the bag for
No, I'm not either. Nuh-uh.
We're gonna take old Eli here and make him a snake
You can
dog.
do that. You can do that, but no. Alright. Apparently Europe loves wild boar. Dino El Hybrid, good night. See you next time. Good night, Dino. Southwestern says he can't stand boar meat. Cody B says he pays $12 for 75 pounds. That's not bad. That's better than what we if we had to buy
it here. If you buy it here, it's $12.50 for 50 pounds. If you buy it.
Southwestern said that sows are delicious, the boars are horrible. and he wanted to make his own cellular trap guide gate. Excuse me, cellular trap gate.
So, oh, you set up a cell phone.
Geeky said that he had 2 people fight off bear attacks this week in my county. Don't tell him that. That just make him more want to go down there and hunt some bear.
Well, fighting bears my hobby.
No, Geeky, I'm gonna stay with you. We'll let him go hunt down the snakes. You can go with him. You don't mind snakes.
In fact, there's somewhere on YouTube. There's a video of me beating a bear with a dog leash. It's old. They were put it up out when YouTube was new. I didn't know YouTube. I ain't know about it.
Did they keep videos that long?
I reckon once you put them up, they're good forever. They're supposed to find out where it's at so I can watch it. I ain't never seen it. I've seen the video, but I ain't never seen it on YouTube.
Derek Black says I pay $11 for 50 pounds.
Well,
Hey Derek, I don't know if we mentioned who said
I can remember when it was $5.50 a bag. I used to fuss about it.
Well, it's not $5.50 a bag anymore. Happy Quack said that she laughs every time I hear bears. I think about my drunk pig video talking about bears in Alaska.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. We don't talk about that.
She said to show you that comment and you'll laugh. It was real bad.
It won't that bad. If you made a drinking game out of it, you had to take a drink every time you said I'm asking the world to do
Okay. A drinking game?
Yeah. Every time Amber said I'm asking, you had to take a drink.
She said, yeah, it was pretty bad.
But what she was talking about in that video was the fact that the old folks wanted aggressive sows. Because a sow that's not aggressive won't protect her pigs. And my daddy didn't want a sow that wasn't aggressive. Of course, he thought, my dad was a pretty tough old fella. And fighting a 1,000-pound sow to him was kind of a game. It's the most exciting thing happening all day. Kind of like me and bear hunting,
Rusty Bucket Homestead. Hey there, Mike and Anita here. We're in California. It's good to meet y'all. Lots of nice info you're putting out. Thanks for letting us listen in on. Still got to redo that video. I made homemade cereal. Cody B. Oh, wait a minute. Miss Geeky. Geeky, our bears are too tiny to bother hunting. Both people fought them off by hand, and one was a mama with 3 yearling cubs.
Well, remember, Geeky, we got the same kind of bear, but the kinds up here get to 600 pounds, 800 pounds.
Cody said I got down where 6 piglets a year will pay for everything for my sow and boar. Every piglet after 6 is profit. That's really good.
You're doing that. That might be optimistic, Cody.
Happy Quack says hey to Anita and Mike. Chris, these are folks are Gloucester friends of ours.
Oh, good. Cody, the way it works here is one litter. If you go ahead and have a litter, 10 or 12. A sow has 2 litters a year. 1 litter will pay for upkeep, feeding her, basically. They ain't gonna pay for no pens or nothing, but 1 litter will pay to feed her and the boar. And the other litter is kind of sort of profit.
Matt Brown says we pay $7 per 50 pounds for 14% feed in Calhoun, Georgia.
How much?
14% feed, $7 per 50 pounds. Do you get that delivered or is that per bag? Is that bagged up or like in bulk? Because we've had a lot of people
I bet that's about what it costs me to make it, to be honest with you.
That they pay a whole lot less when they buy it in bulk and they get it delivered. to either like a silo or something along those lines. Yeah, in bulk. That's what I figured. That was bulk prices.
Well, I need a corn being bad.
Cody B's getting $100 for piglets in dead winter and 150 in warm months. That's good money for piglets.
Well, we get a lot of money for show stock. Then breed stock's usually the 250 range, and then meat pigs for $80 to $100, depending on how big they are.
Matt said they pick it up. It is in bulk and they pick it up. Happy Quack says, "Good Lord, we gotta move. Hearing what other people pay for feed makes me cry."
But remember, Amber, we don't get as much for our pigs as y'all do either.
Kiki said, "The only feed price I know is cat food, which is going up.
How
I'm
much of
just a
that?
simple backyard farmer for my day job."
How much are you spending in cat food, Geeky? I hate to ask that, but I'm curious.
A lot, I'm sure. A Southwest Iron said, "I buy sow cubes for like $13.50 per 50 pound bag." And Cody B says, "These are just feeders. I get 100 to 150 for barrows." Rusty Bucket. Oh, hi, Geek Gardens.
We can't get that form here.
You can't
Not
get.
really.
Oh.
But they got around too. The only thing we sell for meat pigs mostly.
Southwestern. He feeds them to a rat colony I have that feeds my ball pythons.
What?
He has pythons. Okay.
Say that again now.
He buys sow cubes for like $13.50 per 50 pound bag.
Mm-hmm.
And in his next comment, feed them to a rat colony I have that feeds my ball pythons.
How many pythons you got?
Oh, then say. All right.
I got a pet chicken snake lives in the barn.
No, we don't.
I named him. It makes him mine, right?
We don't live in a barn.
Where do you live at then?
He ain't ever in the barn when I go in there, and he better not be in the barn when I go in there. Or he'll be a dead chicken snake. Because there's too many stuff hanging on the wall that I can kill him with. Okay. Geeky, your dating pool has endless possibilities of single cat ladies. Man, you must be fighting them off with a stick. Geeky.
Do what now?
Be quiet. Told Geeky that his dating pool is endless possibilities of single cat ladies out there.
Don't pick on me.
How wasn't it? That's Happy Quiet. I just read the comments. Sorry, Geeky.
Look, Geeky wants to feed them cats.
Geeky likes the cats a lot. Alright. Yes, I have a rack system that I breed rats for my ball pythons.
Well, we believe you.
Southwest Iron, this is Happy Quack. You can feed the rats to the pigs too. They love the meat protein. Cody B wants to know if anybody raises broilers too.
I have.
Southwestern says the problem with python breeding is the shipping. Geeky probably spend more on cat food than on people food. I'm supporting 5 cats I neutered and an assortment of neighborhood cats, raccoons, possums, vultures, and box turtles.
Box turtles.
Box turtles. Southwestern says he traps coons, possums, and skunks. You ever been sprayed? Way too many on my place. Quappy Quack said, I'm not picking on Geeky. A lot of men would be jealous of his options.
Oh, goodness gracious, Hammer. Be nice now. I'm thinking a lot of Geeky. A whole lot of him now.
Amber's being mean. Okay. And Geeky's not saying anything, so come on, Geeky. Yeah, you gotta pay back here.
I'm an animal lover.
Okay.
Animals feed cats. He feed cats.
Geeky did say, funniest part is I was always a dog guy.
Well, now, Geeky, I'm not a cat person, so I'm not a cat person at all.
Don't get him wrong. I'm more of a non-cat person than he is because he'll call me. He called me the other day. He says, "You want a cat?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Are you sure you don't want a cat?" I'm like,
I ain't
"No."
never had one cooked right.
And he's like, "Well, there's a cat laying on my foot that wants to come home with me." He says, "A little bitty kitten. You sure you don't want a cat?" I'm like, "No, no, I don't want a cat." So he brought that cat home. But then when he brought that cat home, Samson would eat the cat, and then everybody would be all upset. So no, we didn't get a cat.
Well, we do have bad luck with keeping cats.
Well, Samson likes cats a lot. Like, Kung Pao cat.
Well, the last time we brought a kid home, we did get the soy sauce out of the refrigerator.
Samson eats cats. Samson hates cats. He will eat them. Or he likes cats. I don't know how would you say that. Would you say he likes cats or he hates cats? I don't know. Anyway. Happy Flack says, I'm trying to give Geeky a damn compliment.
You worded it wrong. You worded it wrong. You're making him into the male version of the crazy cat lady. We all know the crazy cat lady. Smells like cat pee. Weird.
Okay.
Catch her licking the back of her hand, ain't nobody looking.
And it's not going right. I'm sorry, Geeky. I hope you. I'm crying and laughing. Can't see. Understand where I'm coming from, sweetheart.
We know.
Now she's calling him sweetheart.
We know. Amber, don't get upset.
Southwest, I need some cats. He has a few escapee rats. Lord, you need more than rats. I mean, more than cats.
I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't never seen a cat do nothing with a rat. Most time rats whoop the cats.
No, we did have one cat that brought us a rat.
We had a cat one time brought a rat in the house and turned it loose.
No, this one dropped it off at the porch. But it was a gift. She brought us a rat as a gift. I don't know where she got it from, but I didn't want to know either.
Yeah, my dog brings pizzas. Which one's better on the doorstep?
Geeky said, but then my wife would probably love me for be chasing cat ladies. Yeah, for me.
Well,
Matt Brown says, I don't really like cats. They got a gamey taste.
What is it? We ain't never had one cooked right either.
He said they got a gamey taste.
Yeah.
Minnesota man.
I had somebody make a comment.
All right, Minnesota man's actually come back to off the cat. See, so is selling breeding stock a possibility, especially if you're looking for it in the long run?
Yeah, that's what'll make you. Selling breeding stock is what'll make you farm. But you got to have good breeding stock. That's why I try to tell everybody. Everything's got to look right. Your farm's got to have a certain appearance. That's important. Marketing is important. Important. I can't stress that enough. Clean, neat. You got to be clean and neat. You got to have excellent animals. And you got to ask a pretty good price for them. You can't sell them cheap. If you sell them cheap, people think they no good. So you got to ask the price that's comparable to what you're selling. You know. There's a reason Robexes cost more than Timexes. I mean, you got to price your stuff according to the quality. But if you've got good quality pigs, selling breeding stock is what will push you over the top to be able to actually do it. Show stock will help a whole lot too, until, depending on where you're at, these little short-legged show pigs are a thing, because I'm having my first experience with them right now and I don't like them.
Okay. He has not read the comment. What did they used to make you do when you killed a rabbit?
Leave a foot on it, so you want a cat.
Okay.
I never
Geeky,
sell nobody no cat.
no, Geeky's comment. Don't tell anyone, especially my kittens. But cats look just like rabbit when you take the skin off.
Yeah, they used to make you leave a foot on here. I told y'all earlier in the live I used to trade rabbits for rifle balls.
He says he needs a ferret or a good ratting dog. Oh man, there's videos on YouTube about ratting dogs.
And
Yeah,
one of them was just like Eli.
yeah, they're tough. They're
Where is
tough.
Eli?
Sleep on the couch. Leave him alone.
He ain't asleep nowhere.
He was laying on the couch when I went
He
in
ain't
the
faking it. He don't sleep as much as I do.
Minnesota man wants to know if rat tastes like chicken. So that's
If what tastes like what?
Rat tastes like chicken. I don't know.
I don't have a clue what rat tastes like. But I bet it's about like squirrel. If I had to bet.
And now Happy Quack's apologizing to Geeky because you
No.
thought you were single. Thought he was single.
He is single, ain't
No, he's married. You know he's got a wife. Anyway, um, oh, Southwest never eaten cat, neither have I, or rat, or
he?
squirrel.
But I would. If things got bad, flip it in a frying pan.
He
No
did
gravy fix anything.
He said he did eat some cottontail the other day.
Yeah,
Wife
rabbits.
wouldn't eat them because they had warbles. What's a warble?
Oh, wolf.
Oh, ew.
I don't know if you're supposed to not eat them when they got wolves in them or not. My grandmama said it depending on how hungry you were.
Happy Quack once again apologizing. I apologize. None of it.
We were just messing with you, Amber. Geeky's pretty cool. He knows you didn't mean no harm by it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me read my comments here. He says he's never had a rat problem, but the outside kitties are sure keeping the moles cleared out. And the black racers, unfortunately, he don't like it. He likes snakes.
Well, Southwest, I'll be honest with you about something. I don't like tame rabbit.
Southwestern says he's never eaten rat, but his ball pythons have eaten thousands. And his squirrel, he says squirrel's good.
Well, best way I ever found to eat squirrels was Brunswick stew. Whoever invented them things was on point. But I've eaten rabbit every way you eat chicken. However you fix a chicken, my mom and grandma fix rabbit.
Squirrel with white gravy. Geeky says I might as well be Happy Quack. She's waiting for me to go. Oh.
Minnesota like in the Jew. You talking about the old spot? I think they're a good breed. And Amber's got some. She's got some imported from England.
Said rabbit's good survival food. Yardbird's much better. Yeah, I agree with Yardbird.
Oh, I grew up eating rabbit 5 times a week, wild rabbit. But my daddy and my uncle raised tame rabbits to sell commercially. So we'd have to dress.
They don't taste the same.
They don't taste the same. Well, you can't convince people they won't listen when you try to tell them. But I know for a fact that a tame rabbit is a European hare, and a cottontail is a cottontail rabbit. They're not the same animal. One's a hare, one's a rabbit, and tame rabbits don't taste like wild rabbits. They don't. I think they're better, but it's kind of like the same difference between a grocery store egg and an egg out the yard, or a chicken that was running around in the yard free range, or a grocery store chicken. They're different, way different. Well, it's the other way around. Rabbits are cottontails are rabbits, and when tame rabbits are hares. But that's pretty much the. Because I grew up eating wild rabbit, and I liked it, especially barbecue, like a groundhog or a rabbit barbecue, where you boil them, put them on the charcoal grill in a little aluminum foil boat, and put the barbecue sauce on him. That's fit to eat now. But tame rabbit is edible. I mean, I would eat it if I was hungry, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's probably about the same difference between, probably about as much taste difference as between pheasant and chicken. It's real similar. I mean, you take a bite of either one, you know you're eating rabbit. But I just don't like the tame rabbit as good as wild rabbit. And if used to when I was young and hunting, if I killed it, my grandma would cook it. But something I was gonna tell you a while ago. If somebody made old snotty comment on my videos one day talking about eating animals and all this stuff, and they said I wouldn't eat a dog or a cat. Well, I listened to my grandmama when I was young and talking about the depression. She raised my daddy and me during the depression. And if my granddaddy killed it, they eat it. So they ate robins and blackbirds and foxes and bobcats and muskrats and beaver. They ate anything they could catch. She said that times were bad enough they had fish traps set at the creek, which we're in southeastern North Carolina where there's water everywhere and there's plenty of wildlife, plenty of places to fish. But they ate a lot of times what they had for breakfast or whatever was in the fish trap. My granddad would get up early, full light, walk to the creek, and pull the fish trap, and that's what they had to eat. Matt, I'll tell you something about chicken livers. I despise a gizzard, right? The more I eat it, the more I chew it, the bigger it gets. I despise a gizzard. But I used to really like chicken liver. And I hadn't had any in years and years and years. Darlene ain't gonna cook it. It ain't like it used to be when my mama was alive and stuff. And I was somewhere they had chicken livers, and I got a little box of them. And come home, you got to put the Texas Pete on them. And I tried one of them. It was the nastiest thing I ever tried to eat. And I don't know if they weren't cooked right, or they were old, or what ailed them, but they weren't good. Well, geeky, the old saying around here, what it say about us is we eat anything with feet. That's what they always used to kind of derogatory
Well, how do you cook chicken livers?
You put them in a pan of frying.
You don't bread them or nothing?
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't remember Mama bred them or not. She ain't been dead for 35 years. Grandma been dead 40. Well, that's a lot of truth in that. Happy Quack. What you eat has a lot to do with how hungry you are. It's like frog eggs. I love frog eggs. I think frog eggs are the best thing. Some house ultra spicy seafood breader, and you chuck them down in some hot lard. Oh, good gracious! Or a ham, not the flappy bird ham, but a little swimmy fish ham. You can soak them in vinegar overnight. Gash them out and soak them in vinegar. Cook them things. Well, there ain't nothing in the world no better.
We raise quail. I love the quail, not to eat. I love listening to them.
I love them to eat.
He wanted to eat them.
I understand, Geeky. I feel that way about most of these wish I was a cabbage vegetables. Like, what's that junk you like to eat? I ain't never heard tell of before I married you. Brussels sprout.
Oh, I love
The hell is a Brussels sprout?
And cabbage. He don't like cabbage either unless it's coleslaw.
Well, Geeky, I'm the same way about cabbage. Growing up, there was cabbage every day.
Warren's back.
Hey, Warren. We ate cabbage every day. Every day.
We had frog legs.
Boiled cabbage, coleslaw, fried cabbage. Every day. And just because this is what I guess you're supposed to do, I plant 100 of them things every year. 100 of them. How many cabbage plants you want? Give me an even 100. Give me 4 bundles. It's 25 in the bundle. Give me 4 bundles, right? Plant me 100 heads of cabbage. Then I'm out there chopping my cabbage and I'm working fertilizer around my cabbage. And it dawns on me, you dummy, you don't even like cabbage. But then I have to eat it because, I grew it. I can believe that, Geek. Because my daddy used the same thing. Well, Amber, what you can do with the quails, you can cook them till it falls off the bones. You want to talk about something delicious. Cook that quail like you gonna make chicken salad out of it. Cook him till it falls off the bones. You take your little strainer and you get up and get all the bones out of it. Then you put that in a pan and make gravy, like chicken gravy with you use that old powdered chicken gravy mix if you got to. But make it in the pan with like chicken gravy. And that's fit to eat now. There ain't no bones in it. It's like a squirrel. We're talking about eating squirrels. Uh, if you take that squirrel and do him the same way, boil him until the meat falls off the bones, take all the bones out, put the meat back in the pot with corn and butter beans and string beans and what else you put in there? Diced tomatoes, some tomato juice, big old handful of crushed cayenne pepper, half a box of black pepper, half a box of salt, potatoes.
We have cabbage collard seeds, but I don't think we have any cabbage seeds. We can get some, I'm sure.
What, cabbage seeds?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll be honest with you. You buy cabbage, they're $2.25.
We can send her a whole thing of them.
Well, maybe.
Wrap them in wet paper towel, put them in a box, send them on. They might be dry by the time they get there.
So, I buy 100 plants for, $8. So, but now my cabbage collards are special. So then I've got I got to plant a bed of them. And all you do there is you break up a little spot, about 4 foot by 4 foot, kill it up pretty good with a weed hoe.
5,000? She had 5,000?
Well, let me tell you what we done now. Let me tell you what we done after I tell everybody not to do foolish mess like this. I raised a bunch of quail, a couple hundred of them, right?
I loved the quail.
And
I was attached to the quail.
Well, it comes time to eat the quail.
Mm-mm.
Well, she can't eat them. They're too cute. They're cute. She can't eat them. Can't eat them. So I turn them out. Yeah. Probably illegal. Probably go to jail for it. Then you would done it. They're bob white quail.
It was
same kind of quail we got that are native here. But I turned them out. And I was pretty excited because they lasted for about 2 years, some of them.
They either moved away or something ate them. But you ought to see him trying to fly. He was turning them loose, letting them fly, and then they would fly into the side of the barn.
We tried raising rabbits one time. That didn't work either.
They fall back down there.
I can't eat the rabbit. Don't kill the rabbit. Oh my God, don't kill the rabbit.
Bob whites just sound beautiful. I go out and mess with the quail. And
they taste better than sound.
I don't know about that. Yeah, so we didn't eat the quail. And he could have sold them, but he said no, he was going to let them out. See if they'd raise. And they did some of them did anyway. They stayed right around here. You can see them up and down the path, at least for a year or two. Well, and then all of a sudden you don't see anymore. See, I don't know.
There's a way you can release quails. I raised quail when I was younger too. There's a way you can release quail. They'll do pretty good. If you catch a rooster coming up here whistling and turn him a girl out to him, he'll take that girl and raise her. He'll take her with him.
Warren said it doesn't seem like there would be much meat on a quail.
Well, there ain't a whole lot.
Tammy Sabera? Hey, Tammy. She wants to know what happened to the bag pig she got stuck with.
We still got 3 of them.
What happened to the other one?
We barbecued one of them.
Oh, I was thinking there's 4 left.
No, there was 4 left and we barbecued one. I gave them to a buddy of mine. They're still over there. I gave them to my buddy at whose place they were at. And he's going to try to top them out. But they're growing about as fast as a stalagmite in a cave. I don't know if they weigh 75 pounds yet or not. They just ain't a whole lot to them.
Southwest says he mixed catfish feed with layer pellets for his quail. 6 weeks and they were ready to butcher.
Maybe we fed ours a game bird.
Yeah. Mark Young says rabbit with rabbit gravy and homemade biscuits is good eating. Squirrel too.
My grandma used to cook squirrel and gravy sometimes. That's getting back to the little old bitty bones thing. You got to be a delicate eater to eat a squirrel with bone in squirrel.
Geeky asked if they're worth the bother to butcher. Most videos I've seen only eat the breast.
Well, quail.
Yeah.
We used to pluck them. We used to pluck them and singe them. You split them down the back like I do a turkey when you cook him on the grill, and they fry them in the pan. Fry the whole quail. So Grandma used to do to make gravy. Bread them and fry them and make gravy. And you sit there and eat around your little old bitty bones. And Mama would boil them till they fell off the bone.
Hungry.
But you couldn't waste nothing. I killed a bunch of geese one time. Come home, Grandma was mad at hell because knew she had to make pillows. Mama, what we need them pillows for? Well, can't waste all that down off them geese.
Okay. Let me get back to the comments.
I killed a bunch of geese
I'm
last
not
year.
sure who Happy Clacket is answering. They're growing slow because they got large breeds mixed in somewhere down the line.
Oh, she talking about them old Piney Woods rooters I got.
Oh.
Happy Quack, they ain't growing slow. They ain't growing at all.
Southwestern says he has a video on processing the quail, I guess. Geeky says, now I have considered raising meat rabbits since I'm not allowed to have chickens here.
Not allowed?
Not allowed. That's what it says. Not allowed. And he actually put quotation marks around allowed. Tammy said, we really enjoyed watching your videos on pigs. Southwest said, Geeky, they're worth butchering. Really delicious and grow fast.
They do taste good, Geeky.
And then Happy Quack says, yep, I'm pissed to miss out on the goose feathers I have whooped ass.
Well, you know, I was back grown before I found out you had to kill a goose to get the feathers.
Well, ain't it painful to pick the
I don't reckon they carried Corby when they went to snatch the feathers off of them. It's time to restuff some pillars. Them pillars back yonder need restuffing now.
Them pillows back yonder need to be thrown away, and I'll go buy you some more.
You can't buy goose now, Bill.
I bought them at Target.
Where'd you buy them at?
Target.
You sure my grandma didn't make?
She made that one that's like a rock. He's got one that he won't let me do anything with. It is, I mean, it is like a rock. He's had it since he was a kid.
My grandmama made that pillow, and I killed a goose that made that pillow.
Well, it's like a rock now. But yes, the other two I got from Target.
I still got the rest in the box of shotgun shells. They used to kill that goose.
Sure you probably do, but don't go kill any more geese. Expect me to make a pillow out of it. I'll go buy some more. They have them at Target.
All you gotta have is a knife, bust the seam on that pillow.
Well, we'll put that pillow inside of a pillow that I buy from Target and we can stitch it back up.
Oh, I swear. You know what I'm gonna do using them. There'll be some geese for the taking as soon as we have some sweet corn come up. They'll be there and pulling it up. Just show us the God made little green apple.
Southwestern's gonna help buy some pillows. Thank you, Southwestern.
Oh, thank you. You know, Happy Quack, somebody else was talking about, that's right, just needs cleaning, adding new feathers. Them old folks used to do it all the time. We didn't buy nothing new. I appreciate that, Southwestern, more than you'll ever know. People been talking about eating guinea pigs.
Tell them about the guinea pig massacre.
Oh, y'all heard anything about, was it Japan? Made everybody kill the guinea pigs? Or hamsters? It was hamsters. Japan got worried about the mess going on and made you kill your hamsters.
Well, Happy Quiet, you're going to have to send me how to clean a feather pillow.
It's real easy. You just bunch all the feathers up to one end, you open it up, and you shake all the little pieces of feather quill out that's all broke. The ones, the part that stabs you,
Yeah, they
you
stab
shake
you.
them out, and you put some more feathers in there.
I wash pillows in the washing machine except for his. I'm scared to wash his.
Yeah, I think that's right, Southwestern. I think they eat them in all those. Uh, well, that's what they're for. Guinea pigs
Clearwater Angus.
were a food animal in the Andes Mountains. Hey, Clearwater. That's a saying here. Clearwater's a hungry man will eat by hungry folks eat about anything. Me and my first cousin got lost one night. We were hunting, and we got lost. And we stayed back yonder in the swamp, what they call the Black Palm. It's 100 acres of swamp. Knee deep water and head high catbriers and a devil's walking stick every 3 foot. And we got turned around
What's a
in there.
devil's walking stick?
Them little old saplings that got thorns all the way up and down. And they're strategic. They grow strategic. So if you step in a hole and about fall, you'll grab one. They grow right side stump holes. Just so if you go to step in a stump hole and fall, you'll grab that thing. It'll tear your hand up. I still got scars from it. But we wandered that swamp till daylight. We finally got out of there after light. And it was about dinner time by the time we got back to the house.
Not his. They don't have zip-up pillowcases.
And we come in the house. Remember we were talking about cabbage a while ago. Well, we were kind of, hey, Stevie Outdoorsman. We were kind of financially challenged.
Is he having a bad dream?
I don't know. You better go check him. And we had to eat what we had most times. Whatever Daddy grew, I could catch. And we come in the house, and my mama had basically made an egg roll filling, I guess. It was fried cabbage with sausage and onions and bell pepper and rice, all cooked in the same frying pan together. And it was about the nastiest thing I ever put in my mouth. But me and old John, we were starving to death. I mean, seriously, we were starving to death. And we eat the whole pan full. And we got through eating. John looked at Mom and said, Aunt Geneva, that was kind of sorry. And she said, well, you eat the whole pan. I said, well, starving folks eat about anything. And we've been lost in the swamp all night. Had a belly full of sausage grease and boiled fried cabbage, and we're getting beat on. Sitting right here at this table getting beat on for talking about that food she cooked. I guess we should have been glad we had it, but it was nasty. Could have been worse. We could have been skinning the bobcat I caught. What ails him? Has he had a bad dream? Did you wake him up? Tell me it was all right. Which one was it? Well, come over here and take over for a minute. I think we're going to try to stay up just a little bit longer. And before we get off here, has anybody got any more questions that we need to cover while we're still up?
We've got about 2 inches of sleep.
Oh crap, I ain't even out here check that. We always been scared to wash them happy quiet. I ain't never. My mama washed the case, the outside case, but she ain't never washed the pillow. Much less dry. I miss a feather pillow. For boys and girls, it looks like it snowed.
Hey.
That's ice.
That's not snow. There's no snow out there. About that thick. Ice. It's so cold out there, Eli didn't try to go outside, and the door's taking its time to shut. It's freezing. Lord, shut that door.
You want out? You don't want out. You think?
He don't. Usually he's out. He's gone. He
I tell
knows.
you what, be careful if you step out from under the carport or anything.
I know, it's just pure ice.
I'm glad everything's bedded down and warm as we can get it.
Oh. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. Supposed to do this all the way to tomorrow.
Well, it's about time for the current to go out. If it's about time.
No. It's going to be a cold night. We'll head out in the heat.
Is there any new comments? Anything we need to cover?
Well, hold on. She was talking about, Warren asked if the heat would damage the feathers. Happy Quack said, Chris, I was all excited for you to tell folks about themselves and all the pig stuff you kept. It very nice and patient and soft spoken.
Well.
She expected a rant.
Yeah, well. The preacher was in here. Can't rant in front of the preacher.
Can't rant in front of the preacher. Geeky said, don't send any of that stuff down here. He's going to have to cover his tomatoes Sunday night as it is.
Yeah, we feel sorry for you, Geeky.
Southwestern says, good night, be safe and stay warm. Good night, Southwest. Darla says, have you found considerable difference in litter numbers between your show pig line and your breeding stock line?
Well, we ain't had anything off the show pig. We ain't tried to breed her yet, but
yeah, she's not quite old enough.
I can tell a difference in that new blood Boar. He's throwing small. That do-rod Boar's throwing small litters, but I don't know. We're only on about the third or fourth litter off of him, and 2 of them are small and 2 of them won't. But the sows that have small litters normally don't have small litters, so we're a little concerned about that.
She said you can also simply rinse the pillow in fat of warm water a few times, then fluff dry, add feathers after. And then she says, Darla, depends on the breeds and feed, and show pigs get a lot of shots that naturally bred pigs don't get. Stevie said we used to sun our feather pillows in the summer. That helps fluff the feathers.
I bet that would. Well, see, mine are wore out. Mine are wore out. They're 40-some years old. My grandmama's been dead longer than most folks been alive already.
They do sell them at Target. And I did switch 2 of them out a couple of years ago. I don't think he even noticed. But there's one that he kept. When I got you those other 2, you knew I got them. I don't think you even paid it any mind, but you wouldn't let me get rid of the little one.
Well, the other one's in the closet, ain't it?
Yeah, we kept them. You wouldn't let me get rid of them. You wouldn't let me get rid of them, yeah. Because your grandma and your mama made them.
Grandma made them. Mama might put some more feathers in them.
We didn't get rid of them. Just I switched them out.
Sure.
We can combine all of them. Might make one pillow.
Well, the feathers wore out. The feathers wear out after a couple of decades.
There's Gordon. Hi, y'all, out west. Hope you're all good. Just pop by to say hello from Ireland. Hey, Gordon.
Hey, Gordon. Well, we're froze in, Gordon. We got weather like you get.
Geeky says he does remember pillows hanging on the clothesline when he was younger. Happy Quack says if you track the Boar's bloodline litter counts versus the sow's bloodline litter counts, history has most to do with
these sows have always had pretty good litters before, but a couple of them are young sows and only had a litter or 2. So, and there's some other variables that could be in there. Being wintertime don't help. Him not being a very gregarious boar don't help. I miss my spot boar. I miss my red boar pretty bad too.
Minnesota man says he loves his pillow.
But I will say this. We always have the most trouble with purebred stock.
I'm not going to get rid of them. I didn't get rid of the other ones. I switched them out. They're in the closet. I probably could put the three together and make one big pillow, but I don't think any of them will make a pillow by themselves because the feathers are too.
Well, candy geese are fairly easy to get hold of.
Target's really easy. Walk in the door, grab the pillows, pay the
That
lady.
costs money. Geese are free.
Mm.
In fact, they're better than free. There's there's 6 of them right there.
We're in North Carolina, Stevie. Or are you asking basically general who the people that are in here?
What's somebody's good at math off the top of their head? What's 88 divided by 250? $88 divided by 250.
$88 divided by 250. Matt Brown says, "Have you ever considered getting out of the hog business, or you raise them till you drop?" Crappy Quack says she'll have pigs till she dies.
Shoot, Matt, we've quit 40 times already.
0.352.
35 cents a piece.
Yeah.
That's how much a can of goose costs, 35 cents.
You might need to check, make sure that the heat pumps didn't get froze up.
Let's hope not. He told me not to put no roof over it. I don't know why he can't put a roof over it. They told me not to. I asked him about that just for this. We were gonna put like one of them little metal carports over the top of it, and he said you shouldn't do that. So. Oh.
She said you gotta add feathers every year. Feather pillows and blankets and mattresses will last forever if you maintain them.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Gordon. What did Warren say? Oh. Matt, we had let me tell you how the progression went. When I'll be bluntly honest with you, when I was a young and up until I was 18 years old, my daddy had between 100 and 300 sows. We had a farrowing house. We raised them kind of 1950 way. The sows were on pasture. They went into a farrowing house. And the pigs went into a confinement system, went into a nursery, and top and four. We sold feeder pigs. That's what my daddy did for a living. He was a hog farmer. Then, I don't know, my daddy's health got bad. We got out, stayed out for not very long, maybe a year or two, and I started back with pigs on the ground. Just to have pigs to eat. That's all we were raising was enough for us to eat every year. I had 1 or 2 sows and bred them once a year. Then that kind of got a little bit out of hand. People wanting pigs. I kind of got kind of big into it again. But I was in the goat business. I was raising goats, and we had a goat farm. I had 300 does. That kind of got out of hand, turned into something really big. But I had a few pigs. Then we bought a hog farm, actual commercial hog farm, and had it for a few years. And I couldn't have any pigs here while I had that. So then we got out again, and then I guess maybe 20 years ago, I got a chance to buy some of my daddy's stock back, and nostalgia got to me, and the thought of the old ways dying, and my kids not knowing how to do it, and we got back into it about like I was in the middle, just a few sows, raising pigs for me and a few neighbors, and then we started selling some breeding stock, and it's escalated up to being bigger, somewhere around where we're at now for about the last 20 years. At one time, I had an aspiration trying to be as big on the ground as my daddy was, and we were going to do a co-op and some other things, but we just haven't done it. I think 10 sows is going to be about my limit. We're not going to mess with the cows anymore. I'm kind of over the goat thing. And I think some truck crop and these few pigs is just what we're going to do, especially since my health's bad. Hey, Roy. Yeah, well, I'll be glad when it dies out here too, Gordon. So that's just about where we're at. Uh, and previously, I tended about 300 head of cows for everybody around here. And that's kind of gone by the wayside with cattle prices so low. And, we had all the commercial farms here go bankrupt. So I think now is a really good time, a really good opportunity for people to get into the small scale hogs. I think it's going to be something that'll be around. And it may be something we can actually make a little money on. But for anybody that doesn't know that's still in here, I've had some severe medical issues, and I'm still not 100%. Probably need to be on disability. Can't hardly do anything. And it's actually been a little bit of a trial and a tribulation to look after livestock. Things that I've always been able to do were no issue or an issue all of a sudden. So we'll just have to see what happens. But yes, I've thought about getting out. I got mad the other day and was going to get out. I was going to get rid of them. Uh, all the way back to the 1600s here, Amber, we've always had hogs, but as far as actually being a hog farm, they'd always raised some to eat. They've always had hogs. But as far as doing it for professionally, I knew at least to my great granddaddy. There was a magazine article that we pulled out the other night that said we were fifth generation. And they weren't talking about me then, they were talking about my daddy. My daddy was fifth generation. Well, I'm glad to hear that too, Gordon. So that would make me sixth just for what they're going by. And it depends on how you look at that because I know they had hogs all the way back. But as far as being the name associated with, well, good deal, Steve. Moxville. Moxville.
Not familiar with it.
Okay, you're going to tell us where Moxville's at. We're in Lenore County. Not Lenore, but Lenore County. And yes, we've been here so long that when we got here, it was Dobbs County. Well, we've been doing it forever. Forever, you know. But we've done it all. We've had hogs and a dairy. We've had hogs, the dairy, and uh, tobacco farm. I mean, hog. My daddy hogged. My daddy raised hogs and hogged, and uh, once upon a time I owned a restaurant, a tree service, and concrete company, and this shop. And I mean, but we've always had hogs. The one thing that's always been there has been hogs and cows. We've always had cows in some description. But the misinformation with livestock runs deep with everything. It runs with goats. See a lot of stuff, foolishness with goats. We even see some foolishness with rabbits. But like I'll tell you this, till we're talking about rabbits a while ago, my daddy had a bunch of rabbits, hundreds of rabbits. But I never had much interest in rabbits. I did what I was told with the rabbits. I dressed rabbits, I fed rabbits, I moved rabbits around in breeding pens. I did whatever I was told. I had no interest in the rabbits. I didn't pay attention. I didn't care. I just did what he told me to do. So later on, when Darlene decided she wanted rabbits, ain't no big trick. I'm gonna get some cages. We'll get some rabbits. But all I knew about rabbits was you had to have a bunch of them. You had to have a bunch of rabbits to sell to make it work out. So when we got in the rabbit business, we got way too many rabbits, way too fast, and didn't know what I was doing. And then she didn't want to eat the rabbits. And there's no pet bunny rabbit trade. There's not really a meat rabbit trade. You couldn't make the money work out on them, and then she didn't want to eat them anyway. She wanted pet rabbits, and it just didn't work. And I forgot how bad I hated a rabbit. I despise rabbits.
Rabbits are vicious.
Um, I'll fight a 2,000 pound bull all day long. You tell me you want him in a trailer. You tell me you want me to give him a shot. Whatever, we'll get after it. A 600 pound bull hog does not make my knees wobble at the least. But every time I went to reach my hand in a rabbit pen, I appeared dreading because I knew I was fixing to bleed and I was going to bleed bad. Oh, come here, sign everybody off. Let everybody go on. But yes, Amber, we're going. We don't need to start a group. We're going to start a group. There ain't no doubt.
Okay, well, we're going to say goodnight. We've been up for 2.5 hours, and it's cold. I've been listening to a snap, crackle, and pop ice on the window all night. Um, Gordon said that sold 3 loads round bales. Chris have surplus this year. I sold off 54 of them. A guy with 100 suckler cows bought them. He feeds lots. Feeds lots of stuff. Lots of stuff.
Well, good. Hay's high here right now, Gordon. Like high. One of my buddies bought a bale of half rotten hay yesterday. A round bale went for $45.
Mm.
They're usually about 20. And 2 square bales of peanut hay, little 60-pound square bales, went for $8 a piece. And I paid $8 a piece for 3 bales of coastal yesterday to go in hog shelters for bedding. It's expensive.
Amber said there's psycho show rabbit people. Then there's
Yeah, that was something else we ran into. Rabbit people are hard to deal with. Rabbit people are hard to deal with. They're kind of annoying.
What kind of rabbit you have? We just have rabbits. No, there's not just rabbits. What kind of rabbit?
They're
free rabbits?
They're, Holland lot and this mixed, and they got some Californian in them. I mean, we don't know. They're just rabbits.
At the time, I knew what kind we had. I think, because we had some people give us some free rabbits, and we should have known right then that was the alarm. Red flag. They give you a whole bunch.
Well, then we tried to mind his because common sense says if you can't find any to buy, and every time they got some for sale, they're gone.
Yeah.
That would be a thing to do. The mind heads weren't any better. I mean,
yeah.
We couldn't make them work.
And then the trauma of the rabbits
eating their babies,
and it would traumatize me. I just couldn't handle it. He said they range from €25 to €35 depending on the quality.
Yeah, but a €1 is more than $1, right? We've established that before.
Happy Quack's gone.
You're not Happy Quack.
Neighbor just pulled up. Stevie says in Davie County. Do you know Davie County?
Yeah. I know that's about it.
Okay. I don't, but okay.
He's just about as far away from us as he can get not being Tennessee.
Ah.
I think that's right.
So Davie County's up
western part of the state.
Western part of the state. Good night, Gordon. It's good to see you. Glad to hear from you. 25 minutes from Winston-Salem.
We sell a bunch of pigs up that way.
They said we sell a bunch of pigs up that way. And we do. We got a bunch of people that come out. They drive down and they get them when they're small.
It's about depending on which side of Winston-Salem he's on, it's about 3.5 hour drive.
I would think, yeah.
We're in almost 4 hours from now.
Reading comments over here. Well, Good night, Darla, Warren, Gordon, Geeky, Stevie. Let's see who else do we have in here. Happy Quack's already gone.
Well, we hate to be short, but we went up early so we can get off of our in case the current did. We really were thinking the current was gonna go off, and it still might. I got tape my insulin and everything, but we really enjoyed it. And we're glad. Think we just lost everybody.
Yep, we did. Everybody still there? Well, anyway, we're signing off because our connection just went in and out, and I'm hoping that the lights don't follow. Y'all have a great night, and see you next week.